Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chapter 11, Algebraic Products, Exercise 11a. Before I start this exercise 11a, I want to discuss some basic rules of multiplication in algebra. Suppose I have these questions to multiply. How can I multiply them? So 3m times 2n. Remember, whenever we want to multiply two terms in algebra, we multiply the coefficient with the other coefficient. So here the coefficient is 3 and here the coefficient is 2, and both of them are positive. So whenever we want to multiply two similar signs, the answer is always in positive. So 3 times 2 will give us 6, and m times n. Now m times n, it can be written in short way as mn. So the final answer will become 6mn. Now think about the next one. Let's say we want to multiply negative. Now how can we multiply negative 5x with 4y? So we will see what is the coefficient here. Here the coefficient is negative 5 and the coefficient is 4. So negative 5 times 4. Now we want to multiply two different signs. So remember, whenever we want to multiply two different signs, the answer is always negative. So negative 5 times 4 will give us negative 20, and then we will multiply x and y. So same like m and n, x times y will give us xy. So it's easy to multiply rather than addition and subtraction, because in addition and subtraction we have to look for the like terms, but in multiplication even unlike terms can be multiplied. How do we multiply? Simply we multiply the coefficients together by looking at, we have to be like very careful about the signs. Here the sign for this one is negative 2, and here the sign of the coefficient is negative. So negative 2 times negative 7. So two similar signs always give us a positive. So negative 2 times negative 7 will give us 14. 7 times 2 is 14. And k and l, right? So this will be the final answer. Now this one is a little bit different because we have the x here and x cube here. So if you remember, we did it in chapter 1, that how do we multiply. For example, I want to multiply x squared by x to the power 5. So how do we multiply? When we have the same bases, we continue with the same base and simply we add the exponent. So 5 plus 2 will become 7. Similar is the case here. Here the coefficient is negative 5 and here the coefficient is 1. So negative 5 times 1 will give us negative 5. X and x to the power 3. How do we multiply it? Here the exponent is 1. So we will continue with the same base x, and 3 plus 1 will become 4. This shows that whenever we have same letters or same variables to multiply, their exponents are added. Here again the same case, 9 times the coefficient is 1, so 9 times 1 will be 9, and the exponent of x or the power of x is 1, the power of x is 1. We will continue with the same x and we will add the power, so it will become 2. So this is how do we multiply two, you can say two terms, right? Okay, now let's start. In this exercise, they will ask you to remove the brackets or expand. They will say expand, or they will say remove the brackets, or they will say simply solve. So how can we remove the bracket? It says 5 times, because there is no symbol here between 5 and the bracket. That means it's multiplication. So 5 times x plus 1. So how can we distribute? This is the distributive property of multiplication. So how can we multiply 5 with these two? So first you will multiply 5 with this x, and then you will multiply 5 with this 1. So 5 times x will give us 5x, and then 5 times 1 will give us positive 5 times 1 is 5, means this 5 times positive 1 will be positive 5. So this bracket has been removed and it has been expanded. So this is our final answer. So let's discuss two more examples and then we will start the questions from the exercise. Here, as you can see, we want to multiply 4x by y plus z. So this 4x, first it's going to be multiplied with this y, and then this 4x is going to be multiplied with this positive z. So how do we multiply 4x with y? We multiply the coefficients. Here the coefficient is 1, so 4 times 1 will be 1, 4, and x times y, how do we write x times y? We write them together. And now this is positive 4x, this is positive 4z. So positive and positive will remain positive. So 4x times z will become xz. Here we have 7a to be multiplied with a. So 7 times a, 7a times a. Now 7 times 1 will be 7. A times a. Now on the previous slide I told you, whenever we have same letters to multiply, we continue with the same letter and then we add their exponents. So exponent of a is 1, exponent of a is 1 here, so it will become a to the power 2. So the answer will become 7a to the power 2. Now we want to multiply this 7a with this negative b. So because this 7a is positive and this one is negative b, so positive and negative will give you first of all negative, then 7 times 7 will remain 7. There is no number here, it's 1 to multiply with 7, so 7 times 1 is 7. Now a times b will be ab. So these are the answers. This one is the answer for example 2 and this is the answer for example 3. Now when I will show you the questions from the exercise, better pause the video here, get the answers of all these 3 questions and then play the video to check your answers. So here are all the answers. Only I will explain you number 10. Here we have 5a to be multiplied with b. So 5 times a times b, it will become 5ab. Then we have this negative sign here, this negative sign, right? And here we have positive 5. So positive and negative will remain negative, and 5ac. Okay, let me show you some more questions. Here are some more questions. So again, pause the video here, get the answers of these questions and then play the video to check your answers. So here are all the answers. That's all for this exercise. Hope you understand it.